Thank you for visiting the Combs Waterkotte website and our YouTube channel. Our criminal defense law firm in Missouri has over 400 perfect reviews and a long history of client satisfaction, dismissals, charge reductions, and victories. We have created these audio articles to help protect your freedom and rights. If hired for your case, we'll not give up until you get fair justice. Animal Cruelty and Abuse Attorney in Missouri. Animal abuse and neglect charges often involve actions you might think are acceptable or circumstances that are outside your control. The experienced and seasoned Missouri criminal defense lawyers at Combs Waterkotte have over 50 years of combined legal experience and a thorough understanding of Missouri's criminal statutes. We can mount a vigorous defense against your charges and won't hesitate to take your case to trial if needed. Animal Cruelty and Abuse Laws in Missouri. The Missouri revised statutes include several laws against animal cruelty, abuse, and neglect. These statutes must tread a fine line between criminal conduct and accepted customs and practices in both rural and urban areas. Moreover, they must account for the fact that no owner or keeper can control their animals 100% of the time. Your future is on the line. Call Combs Waterkotte's Animal Cruelty and Abuse Lawyers at 314-900-HELP for an immediate consultation. Prosecutors can use the following laws when they believe an animal's welfare has been endangered. Animal abuse. Animal abuse includes three primary violations. First, no person can intentionally kill an animal in a manner prohibited by Missouri law or using a method other than the humane euthanasia practices defined by the American Veterinary Medical Association, AVMA. Missouri expressly allows people to kill dogs that kill or chase sheep or other domestic animals. However, it doesn't allow anyone to kill dogs that harass domestic animals once they've been contained in the owner's enclosure. Humane killing practices under the AVMA's guidelines include many techniques that many people might find disturbing, including the following: gunshot, electrocution, penetrating captive bolts, formaldehyde, lidocaine, potassium chloride, chloral hydrate, opioids, pentobarbital, barbiturates, carbon monoxide. Importantly, the AVMA's guidelines allow certain techniques for small animals but restrict them for large animals. For example, fracturing the neck or decapitation is permitted for chickens or rodents but not cats or dogs. Second, a person cannot intentionally cause injury or suffering to an animal. For example, it might not be considered animal abuse to shoot an animal in the head, as this is an accepted AVMA euthanasia technique. However, shooting an animal in the abdomen might violate the law because the animal might needlessly suffer. Third, an owner or keeper cannot knowingly withhold adequate care, thereby causing the animal substantial harm. This type of treatment amounts to neglect, but it requires the owner to act knowingly rather than negligently. Notably, parents are responsible for their children's actions. Thus, if a child provides inadequate care for an animal, the parents might face criminal charges. Animal neglect. The animal abuse statute criminalizes neglect that causes substantial harm to an animal. The animal neglect statute, meanwhile, criminalizes all other forms of neglect that don't necessarily result in harm. Specifically, Missouri's animal neglect law prohibits people with custody or ownership of an animal from failing to provide adequate care, knowingly abandoning the animal without providing for its care. Consequently, leaving your animal in your car on a hot day can amount to animal neglect, even if you return quickly enough that the animal is unharmed. The abandonment alone can result in animal neglect charges. Animal abuse charges may apply if the animal suffers heat stroke or dies. Animal fights. Missouri has two laws that prohibit fighting animals. The state's dog fighting statute outlaws all of the following: owning, possessing, or training a dog with the intent of fighting another dog, encouraging a dog to fight or injure another dog, permitting one's property to be used for dog fighting. The state's bull baiting and cockfighting statute makes the following activities illegal: keeping, using, or managing property used to fight or bait bulls, bears, cocks, or other animals, encouraging, aiding, assisting, or being present on such property, permitting property to be used for such animal fights. Neither of these laws requires a profit motive. Thus, making dogs, bears, bulls, or roosters fight for entertainment or exhibition violates the law. Moreover, the animals don't need to be injured for prosecutors to file charges. Simply fighting or intending to fight animals would be enough in most cases. Defenses to animal cruelty/abuse charges. The defenses you raise will depend on the nature of your charges and the circumstances of your arrest. However, we often assert the following defenses to animal cruelty, abuse, and neglect charges. Lack of intent. Prosecutors must prove your intent in order to secure a conviction. If you lacked the intent required by the statute, the judge or jury can acquit you. For example, suppose that your dog escaped from your fenced yard and attacked another dog. You wouldn't have violated the dog fighting law because you didn't cause your dog to fight. Similarly, prosecutors can't prove that you knowingly abandoned your animals if you had a heart attack and left your home in an ambulance. However, they might have a case against your neighbors if they voluntarily agreed to feed your dogs while you were in the hospital and never visited your home to do so. Defense of a person or animal. Missouri law allows you to injure or kill an animal that's harming a person or farm animal. For this defense to apply, the animal must be off the owner's premises. However, such a defense doesn't allow people to kill on-duty police dogs. Protected Act. As pointed out by the AVMA, some humane killing practices may be disturbing, but nonetheless minimize an animal's suffering. Overzealous prosecutors might pursue charges against you for wringing a chicken's neck, but this practice is permitted by the AVMA's guidelines and therefore doesn't constitute animal abuse under Missouri law. Similarly, the statutes don't apply to animal husbandry, veterinary treatment, and bona fide scientific experiments. If the alleged acts fall into any of these categories, it isn't animal abuse. Penalties for animal cruelty, abuse in Missouri. The severity of the punishments for animal abuse, neglect, and cruelty varies based on the specific charges. Missouri law instructs judges to sentence offenders as follows. Offense: animal abuse, first offense; animal abuse, repeat offense, or torture; animal neglect, first offense; animal neglect, repeat offense; dog fighting; bull baiting or cockfighting. Charge level: Class A misdemeanor, up to 1 year in jail. Class E felony, up to 4 years in prison. Class C misdemeanor, up to 15 days in jail. Class B misdemeanor, up to 6 months in jail. Class E felony, up to 4 years in prison. Class A misdemeanor, up to 1 year in jail. Why choose Combs Waterkotte to defend you from animal cruelty, abuse charges in Missouri? Combs Waterkotte's Missouri criminal defense attorneys have over 50 years of combined legal experience. We've helped countless Missourians fight back against criminal charges, including those involving animal cruelty and neglect. Our team is known for aggressive defense strategies and open, honest communication. We believe in non-judgmental, compassionate representation tailored to your situation and goals. One of our attorneys is a former prosecutor, giving us valuable insight into how these cases are charged, negotiated, and litigated. If we can't secure a dismissal or plea deal, we're fully prepared to take your case to trial. Contact Combs Waterkotte for expert defense against your charges. The attorneys at Combs Waterkotte are proven litigators who are fearless in the courtroom. If prosecutors refuse to offer a fair resolution to your case, we'll tenaciously defend your legal rights at trial. Contact us online or at 3149-00-HELP to discuss your case with a qualified animal cruelty abuse lawyer in Missouri and learn more about how we can assist you.